to opening night at Rupp Arena, college basketball's winningest program. And tonight, the preseason #1 team in the land, the Kentucky Wildcats, open against the Antelopes of Grand Canyon.
University, they got an outstanding coach in Dan Marley and Todd Lee, former Kentucky. It's priority #1 if you're going to stop these Kentucky Wildcats.
How many times have Wildcat fans...
If you get the ball that close to the basket against Kentucky for a layup, you have to convert. You're not going to get many opportunities.
How about 5 now?
Savers the more talented team.
Grand Canyon did a nice job of moving the basketball, and finally it's this of the night for Andrew Harrison. As Woolridge is fouled.
But if they're going to do it, he's got to stay down, move his feet, and keep the guard in front.
We've heard a ton of talk about the platoons, and he brings... Poitras gets the free throw to go. Cauley Stein in Rockford, Michigan. Pretty move right there. And Smith couldn't hang on to it.
And have to finish those plays against a team of this caliber in UK.
Aaron Harrison with a floater. He'll have the 2 free throws. And then enlist. I would think as a coach, Darren, it would be a great situation for you as we see Lyles check in. Shot clock now under 10, and there's Ulis with a steal.
Probably the only.
And Canyon still hanging around. And there's the first triple on the first field goal attempt for Indiana's Mr.
4 really well.
What a pass. How about Bakari Johnson off that set play to the freshman? Oh, jumper. And it's a pretty one.
Than Dan Marley has for Grand Canyon.
Wildcats back on offense. And that's
shooting it better this year, Dave. 78% for the big sophomore.
Well, and he's going to have to shoot it even better because Cal has talked about the fact that even tonight he may tweak with... You talked about the fact they may be better on the second shot. That's because they're getting more opportunities tonight.
Of the platoon system, because they know they're going to play, they're not seeking out shots and trying to get points, and they understand their role very clearly.
How about that tough puts this team?
I think you have to attack the second rotation and make the extra pass against Kentucky to get clean looks, or pull out a few NBA pictures, stories. Is on the rise. And the basketball program's on the rise. This is a team that I think, Dave, is going to qualify for an NCAA.
How easy did that look?
It looks easy, but it's not just because they're talented.
Royce Woolridge, who's been the standout for the Antelopes so far. Boy, and that's got to please their head coach. They come right out of the locker room and get a bucket on their first position.
By Alexander led to the open fade. Knocked it down.
That was just the 7th field goal of the game.
Alexander shot that last one from about where we're sitting, Dave. And we're almost at half court.
And that's a pretty drive right there. That's the kind of play that Marley wants. Ulis with a long 3. I like this kid.
He's capable of making that shot. Hasn't practiced today. If I don't have a point guard on the second team, I can't platoon at all, or the second platoon.
I don't think you can say biggest. Most important, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
He's going to be the smallest every time he suits up for Kentucky at 5'9".
Every time.
Now, do you think he's 5'9"? Grand Canyon, that guy has got some game, and that was the first basket in a long time by Andrew Harrison. John Calipari wanting his team to pick up the tempo.
Too many 1 and 2 pass shots for Grand Canyon. It's hard enough for him.
Towns on the help, and it's going to be an offensive foul whistled against DeAndre Davis.
And as a coach, I'm looking at it going, Andrew Harrison's fine. He's 6'6" when the game starts, and he's 6'6" when it ends. And Ulis will be a nice little addition, but he's not taking his spot.
Boy, Boy, that Kentucky defense just keeps collapsing. You think you've created an opening, and
guys got drafted and they're playing in the NBA, but for players to understand, hey, only 3 of those guys are max guys. We got DeMarcus Cousins,
right,
and John Wall, and soon to be Anthony Davis. But by the letter of the CBA, it wasn't a max.
Yes. Alexander again.
That's something that Alexander can do in talking to Grand Canyon staff when it's a backboard. Good execution by Dakari Johnson.
And how about Marley answering at the other end with crouched down like a coach.
Dan says he's going to be a player. In fact, I think Cal's already recruiting around here know about that,
yes,
don't
sir.
they?
Yes, sir. Pedigree. Pretty move. Trey Lyles getting more and more comfortable with each trip.
You know,
Cal and Thunder Dan outside Cal's office at the Joe Kraft Center. And this is part of
that culture and having some impact on Grand Canyon University and their basketball program as well.
And Johnson with a shot clock at 2. Straight season. Last year they came up 1 game short before losing to UConn in the national championship game. And how about that follow by Cauley Stein? Boy, and that's a pretty jump shot. Royce Woolridge. Woolridge played a couple of seasons at Washington State, 16 games at Kansas. And there's DeAndre Davis and John.
And fresher than those guys that are playing 34 and 35 minutes a game.
And there is another Wildcat block. Number 9.
We've seen Kentucky's bigs do a good.
I believe that's what you were talking about right there.
He's going to get in the paint and shoot over.
Put his arm around Woolridge, who really played hard tonight. 15 points. 5 of 11 shooting, but inside effort.
We're working for him.
Willie Cauley-Stein got all kinds of publicity during that inside. And this year he wants to be the subject of those videos.
There's no question about it. This program is in good hands, and I think going to be a force in the WAC in the years to come.
I really do. We're going to look up as Lyles gets it to go and draws the foul. We're going to look up
back to it, and so I think they're a terrific match in tandem over on that bench. Change the message from who's going to play, how's he going to get everybody in, to this is about our team getting better and winning. And even flying to the rim like we saw Alex Poythress. You better get a body on him.
In the opening act of John Calipari's platoon system, you got to say so far so good.
A lot of different guys contributing because of the platoon system. Really good defensively around the rim. Did not share the basketball as well as they did the exhibitions. John Calipari want to see that improve.
Kentucky blocked 10 shots. They forced Grand Canyon into 21 turnovers. They put 4 players in double figures. Led by Andrew Harrison, 16. Trey Lyles with 14. Willie Cauley-Stein had